So the following video I'm going to be presenting is on myofascial lines. So to start off with, we're going to start with the superficial back line. Now the superficial back line connects the entire posterior side of your body, being your back, thus back line. It starts from the toes to the knees and then goes from knees to brows. Now the postural function of the superficial back line is to keep an individual standing in an upright position, therefore an extension. What it helps refrain from is flexion, so our upper body coming over into a fold. Therefore, the muscle fibers involved in the superficial back line are endurance muscle fibers and slow twitch muscle fibers because it is an everyday function. The movement patterns it creates is extension and hyperextension, except at the knees and the ankles. So in gymnastics, the superficial back line is used quite a bit, and an example of this would be in a back walkover, which will be shown next. So the next myofascial line I'm going to be talking about is the superficial front line. Now the superficial front line runs along the anterior side of your body, the front of your body. It connects from the surface of your toes to your pelvis, then your pelvis to your head. Now, the postural functions of the superficial front line is to balance out with the superficial back line. They kind of oppose each other. The movement patterns the superficial front line creates is flexion at the hip, extension at the knees, and dorsiflexion of the feet. It contains many fast twitch fibers, which is different from the superficial back line, which contains many slow twitch fibers. And then as well in gymnastics, superficial front line is used many times. An example of this would be swivel hips on the trampoline. The next myofascial line I'm going to be talking about is the lateral line. The lateral lines go against the right side and the left side of your body. They start from the medial lateral side of your foot, then the lateral side of your ankle, lateral side of your leg, as well as the thigh. Then it comes up the lateral side of your trunk. From there it starts to weave in almost a shoelace formation until it reaches just under your shoulders. Then from your shoulders it moves up just to the skull region of your ears. Now the postural functions is that it kind of keeps the forces maintained that are created from the superficial back line, superficial front line, your arm lines, and also the spiral line. The movement functions it creates is abduction of the hip. It also creates lateral flexion and eversion of the foot. So in gymnastics, a good example of this type of movement being done is a cartwheel. The next myofascial line is the spiral line, and it connects the body in a double helix. So where it starts from the skull, then crosses over the back side of the shoulders, opposite shoulders, then starts to curve towards the front of the abdomen. From the abdomen, it crosses over the navel to the hips. From the hips, it then passes alongside the anterolateral thigh and shin to the medial lateral longitudinal arch, passing underneath the foot and running from the back and the outside of the leg to the ischium and into the erector myofascia, then ending close to where it started. Now the postural function of this line is to help maintain balance between the different planes, such as the superficial back line, superficial front line, and the lateral line, as talked about earlier. It also determines efficient knee tracking. Now the movement functions it has is that it creates and mediates rotation and spirals that the body creates. It also in eccentric and isometric contraction steadies, and it also keeps the body from flexing while in rotation as well. An example of a spiral line movement is a front layout full off the trampoline. Lastly, I'm going to be talking about the front functional line and the back functional line. Now, these are called functional lines because they're rarely used in our day-to-day activities. They're more used in sports, such as throwing a ball or throwing a javelin. Such movements can be created taking a step with your left leg, winding up for a throw with your right arm, throwing fast. Now, these are quick, powerful movements that take place. Again, thanks for watching my video.